What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Here today, we're at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale. We are gonna have kind of a fun thing today. I am with some of my good friends. You've seen these folks on the channel here recently, right? So we've got Destiny and Dig and Phil and Ross. And I see this and I see cops do this stupid thing with a gun, and I want to time it to show you not only is it really problematic from a safety perspective, but it's slow and we can do better. The Black Arch Protoss holster is the only hybrid-like holster that I can recommend. It does everything that a holster needs to do and is great for strong side carry. They're part of our holster consortium. Go check them out at the link in the description. So what I'm talking about here is, I don't have a blue gun with me, but I'm sure you guys can figure this out, is that I see cops, they'll draw a gun. I'm using my right hand because most cops are incorrect handed, so I'll just go with the right hand. Okay? And they draw that gun when they feel like maybe something's about to be up. Maybe they're knocking on a door that's, you know, a warrant or something like that. They'll get the gun out of the holster and then stick it behind their leg. Or they'll, you know, I'll see them hold it down here at a low ready, you know, not a low ready, but you know, an in-hand carry position. Or even worse, they want to kind of hide it, so they'll stick it kind of behind their thigh like this. And it is my contention that we're going to put on the clock today that that's slow. That is just not a very good thing. That actually leaving the gun in the holster and putting your hand on it and just staying here with gun in hand is much faster to get a shot on target. And of course, here's the other part. If my gun is here and then I don't need a gun in my hand anymore, then what I have to do is I have to holster the stupid gun, and that takes me time and it takes me attention. It takes me some fine motor skills and those things. And if I gotta do that in an emergency, that's a problem. Whereas if I have my hand on the gun like this and I don't need a gun in my hand, I just let it go. And it's already sitting in its storage location. So, but I want to time that, and we're going to time it about 3 ways. So we're not talking about a ready position here where I've got a gun up and just off of somebody, right, that I'm ready to shoot them. Maybe we're talking about, you know, oh, I was out, I heard a sound in the yard, and I was too stupid to stay in the house, right? And if I was smarter, I'd just stay in the house and call the cops and outsource my violence, right? But maybe I was too stupid to do that, and so then I decided I was going to go clear my backyard. Okay. And I'm not, oh boy, that's gonna catch me hate on the internet. Do what you wanna do, it's your right, my rights and all that stuff. Okay, fine, do you, boo. But listen, having a holster on your person, very, very smart and very good for this because of what it can do for you. So we're not gonna talk about from a ready position. We are gonna work, I'm gonna talk from like a muzzle averted position. So 2 hands on the gun, muzzle averted, that I'm just looking and seeing what's going on. Then we're gonna do one that is at the side, so I've got the gun pointed down at the ground. We're gonna cheat that the tiniest bit here, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have our folks, and we're gonna do that one at a time, and we'll be pointed just a little forward. That God forbid we have a negligent discharge. We won't, because we're gonna practice safe firearms handling. But if we do, then it's at least skipping off the ground and downrange. And then with my instructors here who are very accomplished firearms carriers, we're gonna actually try it from behind and do that one at a time in a way that's there. We'll put them all on the clock. We'll see what timing we get out of each of them. All right, we're just running with a timer here, and I'll tell you what the times end up. Here's what I wanna do. I'm gonna start here on the first one. What I want us to do on this first one, and I'm gonna do it one at a time, okay? So you guys can step off and we'll do this, and I'm gonna start with Ross. So Ross, come up here to the 5-yard line if you would. Sure. Here, let's use this target, this first IDPA target here. So come on this way a little bit. So here's what I want to see. I want you to come to a muzzle averted position. So go ahead and draw your firearm. And now I want you to go ahead and bring it into your chest and then avert the muzzle. So he's muzzled down. And he's not ready to shoot somebody. He's in a search mode here, right? And so all I want you to do when I give you a signal is I want a shot in the A zone. Our standard of completion here is an A zone hit. Are you ready? Yep. Stand by. All right, that was a 1.07. Hey, Phil, can you help me take the delay off that? Okay, yeah. I don't know how to work this timer. Remember, I am not a programmer. How'd you feel about that shot?
I didn't see the dot, so I used the window, and it just
You got it.
by.
There's no A+. So he didn't see his dot. Aha, that's an issue, right? You know, that happens to us sometimes. He's also using an RMR, and so that's a small window. You know what I mean? That makes it more challenging.
First one of the day.
He's got it in hard mode. Yeah, that was his cold performance. Thank you. All right, so muzzle averted, same thing. Yep. One shot. Are you ready?
Sure.
Stand by. Okay, that's a .80. One more time. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. All right, .77. Go ahead and safely holster up. So we would say Ross is probably, you're around a .8 guy. Okay, with that. That's pretty good. All right, well, let's have Phil come up, and we're going to let him do that. We're just getting different shooters and seeing how they're doing with this, okay? So what you're seeing here is you probably can't see it, but Phil, rather than just coming down and inverting the muzzle this way, he goes a little bit sideways. And that's a very common and completely correct, not quite position Sewell, but he's going to do kind of that thing, okay? So on the go signal, you're going to give one shot into the center mass. Are you ready? Yep. Stand by. Okay, that's a 106. Let's see it again. Stand by. All right, 9-1. You see what happens. Their very first shot of the day is usually a little bit more pedestrian, and then they go, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm shooting again, and then it picks up a little bit. Yep, here we go. One more time. Are you ready? Stand by. All right, so that's a .90. Go ahead and holster up. So Phil's probably right around a .9 guy. All right, let's let Dig come up and try it. Right up here at the 5-yard line. All right, Dig, go ahead and come to a compressed or a muzzle-averted position. So however he wants to do that, yeah, you know, we're not talking about being super tactical here, right? We're just trying to get this idea where we're from here. All right, so we're going to go from here. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Stand by. All right, 104. Let's see it again. Stand by. Good, 107. Third one, stand by. Okay, rip that one off at a 7.3. All of a sudden, he got speedy. What changed on the third one? You didn't hesitate.
I didn't hesitate. I had my focus on the little A in the center, and I was just relaxing.
Beautiful. Let's see one more time. I want to see you duplicate that. I think he's got another 7 in him. So he's not really a 1-second guy. He's really a 7 guy. He just has to believe he is. One more time. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Stand by. Yeah, there. Whew, even faster. Now, you know, he Charlied that, so that happens to the best of us. He's probably a .7, 7.5 guy. Very good. All right, let's get Miss Destiny up. So here's the challenge, right? And I see this all the time. Is that Destiny's not as experienced a shooter as these other guys, right? So these other guys have been to a bunch of gun school, they're instructors, they do this stuff all the time, we live on the range, and that's not been your life to this point. So should you be as good as them?
No.
No, you shouldn't be. If you're as good as them, then they've wasted all that time and money.
Who should have more pressure, us or you? You got nothing to prove.
Right? You got nothing. There's no worries here. Okay? So all the pressure was on those guys. But I also love having a friend who is not a gun school junkie yet. She's just kind of caught the bug here because then guess what? This is like, okay, so how do mere mortals do, right? Like, you know, not these guys who are that's all they do, but like regular people who have kids to raise and jobs and lives. So chill out, you.
All right.
All right, go ahead and safely draw your firearm. And then did you see the position that they kind of came into there? There you go. So she's got kind of gun up like this. And when I give you a beep, I want you to see your sights, drive the gun out, and get one shot in the A zone there, okay? Do you understand what you're doing?
Yes.
All right, stand by. Good shot. 114. That's pretty darn good. All right, let's see it again. Are you ready?
Yes.
Stand by. Good stuff. That was a 113, very consistent. Let's see it one more time. Are you ready? Stand by. Good. 1, 2, 3. So go ahead and safely holster up. So Destiny right at a 1-1-ish, right? And so I think we've established, you know, each person, and so we've got anywhere from .7s to .9 to 1.1. And so you're like, well, what's a good time for that? It's about what you can do right now, right? Yeah, 1-ish maybe, okay, fine. Now we're gonna change that and go, okay, wait a minute, if I have the gun down here, how long does that take me? So I only have one hand on the gun, and the gun is down at my side. Now I want all you to kind of just think about this. Is the only thing that I want, obviously we're facing downrange when we do this, when we draw the gun down here, and I just want you to cheat forward the tiniest bit, right? So I don't want to have it go straight down if God forbid. Of course, we're always gonna practice our trigger finger discipline, right? So trigger high and at home, until you're ready to work, okay? Until you've got the gun up and towards the berm. Sound good? Let's let Ross show us again how it be. All right, go ahead and safely draw your firearm. And then gun down at the side, not pointed at yourself.
Nope.
Very good. All right, we're gonna see how much longer this takes. Ross was around a .75, .8 guy. All right, are you ready? Stand by. .99, okay, and a Charlie.
That's tough.
Yeah, this is a not easy thing, right? Let's see it again. Stand by. Okay, and he knows it's coming, 104. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Stand by. right, now he cooked one off in 8-1.
As quick as I could do it.
Yeah, that was as fast as you could. Okay, go ahead and safely holster up. So he's about 2/10 to 3/10 slow.
Yep. And that's where I started cheating was, you know, if I'm leaving it at full extension, obviously it's like, what? You know,
Yeah, out it comes.
dots all over the place. So where I was cheating was kind of mimicking my draw where I'm coming center line and then pushing out a little more to give myself a little more time, and it was still slow.
Yeah, it's gonna, I mean, you got more distance to cover, right? So the thing is that from the perspective of what you're actually doing here, if my hands are on the gun, well, if it's down here, guess what I have to do? I gotta bring my hands together and drive the gun out. So basically I add the time it takes me to do this.
And then there's more momentum because my gun's moving. I'm getting it moving a little faster. It felt like, at least I'm trying to. And then I got to stop that, right?
All right, let's see Phil. All right, sir, go ahead and draw your firearm. And again, once you're comfortable with that finger high and in register, there you go. Now he's down in that spot. One shot on the beep. You ready? Stand by. Okay, 102. And obviously, one of the things that Phil did here, he did it fine, is we got to be real careful we don't point a gun at our hand here, right? We want to be real careful. Again, stand by. Okay, 104. One more time, stand by. Right, 114. So I would say Phil is probably roughly similar. Yep. Probably about the same for you, which is kind of interesting. I think what I'm seeing, and well, I'd love to hear, what are you seeing there?
Okay, so I kind of deliberately took a slightly different approach than Ross did. Instead of going, to high pictorial index and punching out, I went with an escalator draw to meet my hand, up on target, thinking that's gonna, cut some of the excess movement, thinking that's gonna cut some of the excess time. Obviously not at the time.
Yeah, just do that stuff. All right, Dig, you're out. Okay. All right, Dig, go ahead and draw it ready. And then hand down at the side. Okay, do you understand what your task is?
Yes, sir.
Just be careful not to point a gun at your hand. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Stand by. Very good. 107. Let's see it again. Stand by. Okay, verified his dot a little there. 112. Is that what happened? You're like, oh, I got to steer my dot a little?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, which is fine. Happens. All right, one more time. Stand by. All right, now a .8, but we push that one to the right, is what that looks like. We Charlie that one to the right. Happens to the best of us. Go ahead and safely holster up. Good. All right, Miss Destiny, you're up. All right, here we go. Stand by. Okay. 133. Want you to be cautious when you bring that gun back. You didn't. You were okay. I just don't want you to let it swing back down and muzzle your foot. All right, again, stand by. Very good. She's being cautious there. 142. One more time. Stand by. All right, very good. 110. So that was pretty spicy. Go ahead and safely holster up. By about the third iteration, we're starting to see a little bit, people start to find their efficiencies. But we've got some interesting stuff on that. Now, I'm going to let the instructors, I'm not going to let Miss Destiny do this last one because this is fairly, this is a little advanced. Again, I see this behind the leg. Now, what we're going to be very cautious of here is we're here in a safe environment. We're the only ones on the range. I'd never do this in a public environment. You're gonna flag people and all that stuff, right? Because what I see happen all the time is people then they go around this way. That gun is pointed. Good Lord in air, buddy, right? So we're gonna keep everybody away from that side. But what I want you to see from when I'm back here like this, and one of the things I'm gonna have these instructors do is I'm gonna have them switch their feet. So then that way their dominant side foot is forward so that they've got a little space here. And then I want to be very cautious we don't point a gun at our foot as we're swinging around, okay? Ross, you get to try it first. All right, this is what we see all the time. And again, this is exactly what we see is we see it kind of back. And the thing that I like here is he's not pointing a gun down at his calf, which is very smart because otherwise, shooting yourself is good. I want you to very slowly practice then bringing that gun around a couple times and putting both hands on it. Good. Okay, does that feel weird and uncomfortable?
I'm swinging a little exaggerated.
You should, yeah.
My foot, but nah, it's good.
Okay. All right, now we're gonna see how long this takes him. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Okay, 110.
A lot of movement.
It's a lot of movement, yep. All right, again, stand by. Okay, 9-7, he's cranking it now.
Trying.
All right, here we go, one more time, stand by. Very good, 8-9, that's a great shot.
I think I missed.
No, you actually hit an alpha, you hit an edge alpha on the left. Safely holster. Now, so here's the thing. It wasn't any faster for him to be here, okay? Wasn't any faster at all. Okay, so now, Ross, I want you to do the same. We're gonna do the same drill, except for I'm gonna put hand on the gun. Okay? So gun in the holster, hand on the gun. Gun in the holster, hand on the gun. And again, your cover garment cleared. So I'm here. I've got all that. And then when you get the signal, one shot on the target. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Okay. 8-2, high and left delta. Try it again. Stand by. Okay. 8-3.
There's my dot.
Charlie. One more time. Stand by. There he starts cranking in 8-5. Okay, and got his hit on that last one. So where was he faster? This was slow, right? Slowest. This is much faster.
Much faster.
All right,
And I'm not used to that either one. So honestly, I don't practice this a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's part of my draw stroke, but that little bit of mental hitch of starting here is like I have to actually think about.
Like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah. So to be honest, that's a pretty good comparison right there.
Yeah. So again, which one's better? Let's let Phil give it a try. Safely draw your firearm and bring it back around. I just want to verify, and let's be cautious not to point a gun at our calf or our foot. Good, that's instructor level firearm safety. One of the things we talk about on the channels all the time is that big boy rules mean not that you're sloppy with gun safety, but that adults can do things that make sure that they don't point guns at themselves or somebody else. On the beep, one shot center mass. Are you ready? Stand by. Okay, 1-1-2, just as fast from here, so it's certainly not any faster. All right, one more time. Here we go, stand by. Very good, 108, last one. Stand by. Are we there? Okay, yep, you got it. I'm sorry, I just couldn't see it. Stand by. Good alpha in 107. So now I want you to holster up. And now we're gonna start hand on gun and see what that does for us, okay? Are you ready? Stand by. Very good, 9-9. 9-9. Again, stand by. Okay, that's Charlie, but a .85. That was quickly. Very quick for Phil.
Hey, quick straw.
Hey, squeak draw. All right, one more time, stand by. Ooh, very fast at .8.
Hey, good job.
Okay. So Phil was a quarter second faster
Nice.
out of the, sitting from the holster than he was from back here. And again, it's my contention that even here, like you really have a hard time seeing a gun here. And if I don't need the gun, I just drop it and now that's just completely gone. Whereas from here, if now I got to put the gun back in the bucket if I'm a cop or back in my concealed holster. Yeah, you can absolutely cover this way as well and then clear and go. All right, go ahead and draw to the ready. And then be real cautious not to point a gun at yourself. I want you to take your right foot and go forward with your right foot. There you go. So I know it feels a little funky, but what I want to avoid is kind of see how my knee is forward of my ankle here. Mm-hmm. That's a place you can point a gun at yourself. So I want to just keep it forward enough that it stays out of the way like it is now. All right, on the go, one shot. Are you ready? Stand by. All right, 1-3-6. Safely back to the spot. Yep, very good. Stand by. 1-1-3. Stand by. All right, 109. Now into the holster, please. Good job. Now we're going to start hand on gun in holster. All right. Now, same thing, one shot. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Stand by. Fish this dot a little bit. 1-1-5. Is that what happened? You put them together and like, where did the dot go?
Yeah, it feels weird to not
do the whole thing.
Yeah.
So just think, I'm already at my stab, right? So that's where I'm starting.
Right.
Stand by. There's a 9-4. Nice. All right, last one. Stand by. Yeah, 105. So he's faster by about 2/10 coming out of the holster. My contention is because you're used to drawing your gun out of your holster, you're going to be faster out of that, right? Great spot. So I'm going to start with Ross. You've done law enforcement for a lot of years, and I've seen plenty of cops. This is like a cop thing.
Yeah, I want to have my gun in my hand because I think something's going to go bad, but also I need to keep it hidden because I'm not 100% sure, etc. And I see it a lot, and it's going away slowly, I think. I'd like to think so. But the other thing to your point earlier that I'd mentioned is, so I wasn't a whole lot faster. I certainly wasn't any slower.
Right.
So it didn't gain me anything. And what it loses me is what you mentioned earlier, which is in the cop world and the non-cop world, fist fights, non-gun problems are far
more common.
prevalent. And so if you're planning for that and then it goes bad, trying to fish that gun, what am I going to do with the gun? Drop it? That's not a good idea. Keep it in my hand? Terrible idea. Try to stuff it back in the holster while I'm fighting a dude? Like, that, not going to work. So you're kind of committing yourself to a force option. And what we see in force on force a lot of times in both realms is when we do that, and we love to do this, right? We sucker someone into drawing a gun and then we change the problem. And if you like knife, and then they drop the knife and then they just charge at the person empty hand. And what do they do most of the time?
Shoot him.
Pop, pop, pop. Because they've already committed themselves to that force option, whether they knew it or not when they drew the gun. And there are ramifications to that I think this is a great demonstration of not just it's not a disadvantage, not an advantage, and it might be a disadvantage, but on top of that, you're creating a situation that's not going to go well.
Yeah. Dig, as a fellow private citizen, does this feel weird to do?
Yeah, I feel like as a private citizen, the chances of me employing this technique are slim. I feel like I would...
Thankfully, if you're a private citizen, there's no reason for you to do this, this whole thing ever.
Right. I feel like I'd much rather spend my time and energy on focus on becoming proficient, efficient, and quick at being able to present my firearm from my normal method of concealment, which...
But it was interesting that when you started with your hand on your gun, it was mentally like what just happened to me, And so getting that spot, if you're going to use this technique and going, okay, I need to practice this a little bit from this spot, it's different. Miss Destiny, we put you in a spot as somebody who's, not had hundreds of hours of training, and you handled yourself well. How'd that do internally for you?
Good. I mean, it's really interesting to do like the different draw points. I know at that parent guardian class that we did, they had us do just a hands to the side draw, and then hand on, like you were doing here, draw. And I increased my speed by a full second, going just from hand on here.
Yeah.
I think obviously, like they were saying, it's better to have it in the holster and have your hand here. I think also the advantage for me, being a female and not really looking like a gun person, and what she was explaining to us at the parent guardian class was that it's really easy to kind of get some cover, get your hand on the gun to be able to like have a surprise, and then speed it up a lot faster.
If you're in the ASPA Unlimited app, by the way, you need to watch the Armed Parent and Guardian.
Yeah.
Really, really great class. Ross was assistant instructor for that class. Destiny took it, I took it, my wife Laura took it. Really, really fantastic class. And this reinforces that lesson, right? All right, Phil, not something that we see on, folks looking, and it felt weird to me even doing it. What about you?
So that bootleg ready thing, I mean, it's artificial. It's not something anybody trains. It's definitely not part of formal law enforcement training. It's just something cops do. And it's something that,
Or I've seen private citizens, they open the door and they've got their gun stuck behind their freaking leg like this.
Exactly.
Great
It's
way
an
to shoot
ad
yourself.
hoc thing. It's not something you practice. And because of that, there's a built-in uncertainty factor there that's going to slow you down unless you deliberately try to train past that. The other aspect to this is that, let's face it, legally speaking, whenever a citizen puts a gun in their hand or their hand on a gun around other people on the street, what is that? That's either illegal, unjustified brandishing, or it's justified defensive display.
Yes.
Okay, so
know your laws.
It's going to be one of those two things. And the bootleg ready with the gun behind the leg like that body language communicates hesitancy. That body language demonstrates, I'm not sure if I should have this gun out or not, so I'm just going to keep it hidden and hope nobody sees it. Whereas you get your hand on the gun in the holster, that's a definite body language signal saying, I know I might have to shoot right now, so I'm ready.
Right. And so, hey, listen, know your laws. That's a good, important thing. Because in some states that could be considered brandishing, right? So you want to watch that. But number two, there's no practical advantage to this.
No.
There's no practical advantage to having it down here. Leave it in the holster.
There's
and
not
again,
even a legal advantage to it.
yeah, there's no legal advantage to it. There's no tactical advantage to it. Stop doing that stuff. Instead, if you feel like you've got to have that, and I think you can maybe get, again, if I put my cover garment back over it, now I'm not overtly threatening, right? And you probably have a better chance there. So watch that stuff. Thanks for bringing up the legal part of that, Phil. Of course, out here we're just looking at the tactical side of it, but reminding that legal stuff is important too. So listen, ever tempted to do this? Stop that trash. We're like, well, wait a minute. What if I'm in my home and I don't have, a holster for it or whatever? And I got to answer the door. Why are you answering the door when you don't know who the heck is on the other side of the door? You should have some kind of doorbell camera on your house. And answering the door is hit a button on your phone and go, hello, how can I help you? Land Shark, sorry, I gave it to office, piss off. Oh, I brought your pizza. I didn't order pizza. Kick rocks, buddy. Amazon delivery, just leave it there. Oh, I need a signature. I don't see your UPS truck outside. So you know what I mean? That's how you should be doing that stuff. You shouldn't just be coming to the door with a gun in your hand. That's stupid. And you're like, well, but I want to have a gun in my hand. Repent. Do better, right? If you need to have a gun on you to answer the door, put a holster on. Go grab your Enigma and slap it on real quick and stick your gun in it. Okay? Hey, hope this helped you. We had a good time. Great shooting, everybody. Well done.